Hey guys, welcome back to Reverse 1999. In today's video, we are talking Psychubes. I'm probably going to get this video out about an hour before we do hit day 5 and get our Psychube 6-star selector. And I wanted to go through what I am personally doing on my account, not just with this selector, but with Psychubes moving forward in general and my game plan for my account. And you guys can listen to that and take from it what you will, but I'm also going to go through all the 6-star Psychubes and some of the 5-stars to talk about them and my thoughts around them after I give you the TLDR on what I'm personally doing myself, because it's the kind of thing you do really want to make a wise investment for your account at the start here. So let's jump into it. So let's go ahead and look at the Psychubes and I'll show you what my personal plan is. So if we go to the fragment shop here, now, for me, I'll do the TLDR version with just the ones that I'm looking at. I'm going to pick up the Brave New World with my free selector. This one is just all-round good damage dealer one. Like the first one, I recommend you get a damage dealer 6-star that is going to be usable on a lot of characters. See, that's the thing. There's some others that may be better on other characters, but for me, this one giving just straight ultimate might, and then also after you cast your ultimate, you get incantation damage. That is just going to be good splashable on any DPS character, even support characters, provided they have a damaging ultimate and damaging incantation. Like, a lot of units are going to be able to use this one. So that to me is just the safest investment for long term on my account, to be able to shift between characters depending on what DPS unit I have. There's no single target recommendation. There's no, requirement. There's no AoE requirement to it. It's just ultimate might, incantation might. That is really solid in my opinion. So that will be the first one I pick up. Now, the second one that I will pick up, I feel like you either aim for another general DPS one, or what I'm doing is aiming for the healing one. Because, and also before I go any further, I have to give a massive shout out to Gordan and Lyriell over on Discord. I had a big chat about this with them and they sort of helped me form my opinion on what I really want to do based on how things went on CN and stuff like that. But essentially it looks like we should be in 1.1 getting a 6-star Psychube from that event, which is a damage dealing based one. Now its condition is going to be single target focused, but still it's just going to be a good general attack one. So for me, I feel like that's going to give me 2 attacking ones, and then I wouldn't mind picking up a healer one. And because I have Psychubes, I'm going to pick up this one. Now this is very targeted at her particular, but in general, having the healing done, which then we can obviously upgrade and get it to 18% healing done, that will still be splashable on any healer that I want to use it on. So I'm pretty happy picking up that one. So that's going to be my second choice. Like I said, some people may go for another DPS, but if we do get that the event one coming in 1.1, I feel like going damage and healer, then picking up another damage one, and then using a 5-star as my flex one on my support unit, I feel like that's a pretty safe play for me personally. So that's what I'm going to do, but this one is very targeted as Psychubes, so if you don't have her, maybe you want to go for a different option, but I'm going to go through the rest of them and talk about it. But just TLDR once again on what I'm doing. My free one is going to be a Brave New World, then I'm going to pick up the Psychubes one from once I get to 210 on the currency. And then after that, I'm going to pick up a Brave New World, because obviously I'll take that from the selector, meaning I'll still have one available here, because that is going to be the first one that I upgrade, because it's going to be my main DPS one. And then after that, I'm going to go ahead and get some gluttonies. Now, I just want to talk about this down here with the 5-stars. I'm not going to buy any 5-star. I just think they're too expensive, and all these materials, especially these ones for the limit breaks, but these ones, because if you've tried to level them up, it requires so much. I'm going to use all this currency on buying the upgrading materials as opposed to buying the 5-stars, because then I can use these upgrade materials to buff my 6-stars. That is the process I'm looking for. Brave New World, then Psychubes one, then Brave New World again, then gluttonies. That's my plan. But let's go through all of them. So like I mentioned, Brave New World, good general DPS one, just really solid all around. It's a bit low on the attack side at 370, but still just the application of it is pretty solid. Then as we move into the next one, which is Hopscotch, this is another really solid one in my opinion. Once again, it's got the 370 on the attack. It's not too low actually. It's pretty balanced. There are a couple that are higher, but this one's just got basically the inverse, which is incantation might, and then the amplification is ultimate might. However, this one does require you to defeat enemies, so it's not as splashable, going to be using as good in every situation as is going to be with the Brave New World. But this is definitely another fantastic one if you like the look of that. And the next one is her Second Life. Now this one, after the carrier casts mass ultimate, that has to be a mass ultimate, so AoE. Let's max this out. It's going to heal for all allies, it's going to give a heal. Now, at max at 64, it's going to take you a while to get there, especially because it's probably not going to be the first one you do. Well, maybe it will be. But even at a 64%, when I look at stats-wise on my characters, and obviously this is early on, but I'm just going to place a Psychube on this guy for the moment. Just the one with the highest base attack, I'm pretty sure is this one. So let's just see what his stats are. So he's 1,116. So if we look at getting 60% of his attack, we're looking at about, 700 HP heal, which is about a 10%. Now, the problem with this is the requirement is an ultimate, and you remember, for the long time until you get it maxed out, it's going to be half that. So it's going to be around that 350 heal, which to me just isn't enough based on percentages. So even though that one seems not bad, myself, I'm not willing to go in for that one on her second life. Also, it does have a lower attack, so it kind of looks like it's meant for a healer. I'm not too sure. I really don't know on that one, but that one I don't recommend just because I don't like the feel of it. The next one is this one, which actually seems pretty decent because we've got Incantation Might of 18% at max. It's got 360 attack, which is 10 less than the other ones we looked at. And then when the carrier attacks, if the target has 2 or more neg status, damage dealt plus 24%. Now, if this was very easy to obtain on all of your DPS, I think I'd probably go for this one because it's just a straight damage dealt plus 24%, but this is way too conditional. And even if in one team you have the support units that get the neg status to that point, your other team, you're probably not going to get it. So I just, even though I like this, if you can proc it, I feel like it's a bit too conditional for me. So then we move on to the next one, which is the crit one, which is a Thunderous Applause. Now, the problem with this one is, once again, it has 330. When we look at the others being 370 as the top, we do have a couple above 370 or one above 370. Don't know why I said low earlier, but it's lower than one of them. It was what I was meant to say. But this one, it does give you the crit rate. This is basically like a Lyriell specific one because she needs crit, and then she also has the effect where she increases the crit rate on her Psychube. So I feel like this is Lyriell specific, and even though everything benefits from crit, it's not as impactful on a lot of units in my opinion. I think the other ones are just better general ones. I feel like this one in the future, if we get more crit based characters that need that crit, then maybe this one becomes the thing. But at the moment, I don't think it's as splashable, and I wouldn't recommend grabbing that one unless you're going for a specific character. Now, this is the one that I mentioned I'm going for second. That is my Sotheby one. When the carrier casts a basic incantation debuff, obviously her poisons, HP plus casted for the ally with the lowest HP. It's a low heal, goes up a bit, but it's a heal for the ally, but it just allows her to keep healing while she's putting her poisons out, which I'm really going to appreciate, especially when we get to patch 1.2. So that's why I'm picking up that one. Plus, it just has the raw healing bonus. The next one is this one. If we look at this one, this is the one I was referring to when I said 370 felt low, because this one does have a 410 attack, which at the end of the day, it's not a massive difference, but it's just something to note. And it does have just raw damage bonus of 12%, which isn't too bad. And for each enemy target defeated by the carrier, they get a heal on themselves. Now, I feel like this one sounds really nice in that, like, oh, I'm not going to need a heal. I can like solo content with my units. But I feel like it's the kind of thing which sounds really good in this early stage of the game when you don't have your supports and stuff built properly, and you're like, oh, dude, like my carry is like my only built unit, so they'd be able to just like solo sustain and carry my way through. But I feel like I'm planning for the future when I will have teams built and I will have a healer, so I won't require this heal, and I'm sort of just losing out an effect for an extra like 40 attack rating. So that's why, in my opinion, I think the best general one as your first option is going to be Brave New World, just because it's just generally good. We get ult might, we get incantation might, and that is a big buff, especially if you queue this up to ult into a 2 or a 3 star of one of your strong incantations. Like, that is just going to be huge damage. So that one, like I said, is my option. Now, keeping in mind, the 2 free ones that we do get through the beginner missions are going to be this one, and which is a good general DPS one that you can put on a sub DPS, and then this one as well, which is actually really solid, damage taken reduction, and then increases healing up. So I wouldn't recommend buying any of the 5 stars, but like I said, you do get those 2 for free, so you can use them to fill in slots for the meantime. But at the end of the day, you're going to be able to pick up 2 in the next day or 2 for most players that started at global, and then we get one from an event in 1.1. Hopefully they carry that through from CN, and that's going to be pretty much set up. And then, like I said, you'll just slap one of these on the remaining character. Maybe we get a future event. Maybe you eventually just buy another one from the shop as well once you're more lined up on what your account's doing. But that is my general thoughts. Just to recap what I personally am going to do, I'm going to get Brave New World with the selector. I'm going to get that Inquisitive Deer with my first purchase. Then I'm going to go back and purchase the Brave New World as my first dupe. Then I'm going to start prioritizing some gluttonies. And then down here, I'm just going to buy all these materials. So that is my process. You don't have to do what I say. This is my opinions and what my thoughts are. Feel free to do whatever you want at the end of the day. Look at your characters. Like I said, if you're just playing to have fun and you really like Lyriell, I'm considering starting a Lyriell account going for that. But like I said, I don't think that one's just generally as good as anything like Brave New World. There are some really good ones in here, but I feel like Brave New World is just the safest play. But take your pick. Anyway, guys, I'm going to shut up now. Thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.